Hey, what's up? Today we review the Blitzart Huracane 38-inch electric longboard, single motor. Here we go. All right. This is the Blitzart 38-inch Huracane. I got this on Amazon for a little under $300. I've had it for about a week now. On Amazon's site, it states this board can go up to 17 miles per hour. It has two modes. One goes up to about 10 miles per hour, and the next up to that 17 mark. I could not get this board with me on it up to 17 miles per hour, other than maybe some downhills and some wind. I generally get up to about 15 miles per hour on this board in the fast mode. In the slow mode, I can get it up to about 7 with myself on it. I weigh a little under 160 pounds. My boys, they can get it up to, one of them up to 8 miles per hour and one up to 9 on the low mode. So potentially they should be able to hit that 17 mile per hour mark without a problem. Overall, the board's very sturdy. It's got a concave deck throughout the remainder of the deck, at least nose and tail excluded. The grip tape is very, very gritty. I've worn it down over the last week of riding. I've ridden somewhat right around 35 miles on it total, just for the week. This board has a single hub motor. I'll turn it around here. And this wheel, this is the only wheel with a motor, and this is the only board I have, but it performed much better than I had ever thought it would. I've not had any performance issues with the board or the motor pushing or pulling. This board has 3.5-inch wheels, 90mm wheels, all wheels, polyurethane. On Amazon, you can get this board in 3 different colors, I believe. If not on Amazon, on Blitzart's site, you can get the red, the boosted board looking orange, not quite boosted board, and green, fluorescent green. This board is listed as having a 36-volt battery or chain batteries, 4.0 amp hours. I've had one outing where I took it out so long I ran out of power. I ran it a little over 10 miles with one break in between, and really didn't notice any battery sag. The ride was, like I said, has been smooth all along. Not had any issues really. The 90mm wheels can be replaced. Of course, the regular wheels can, but also the wheel with the hub motor. On Blitzart's site, they do have replacement wheels that you can buy. I don't know if they have all the colors. I assume they do, but it's around $17, $16, something around that mark. The deck's listed as having a 7-ply maple, 2-ply bamboo. It's got some flex, but not a lot. Gives to the stability of the ride. I've ridden on sidewalks, some smooth surfaces, some smoother concrete, and some somewhat bumpy asphalt, rocky bumpy asphalt. Obviously with the concrete, with the sidewalk concrete and the bumpy asphalt, you feel it, but it's not really too bad. It doesn't feel bad at all. This is listed as weighing in at 13 pounds. I have not weighed it yet. I may do that here in a few, but it doesn't feel too heavy. The carrying handle that's on the board is pretty smooth. I have not had any issues. Plenty of space. Doesn't feel too heavy to carry, although it's a longboard. If you're carrying it by the trucks, and you're not a tall guy, I'm not a tall guy, you're probably gonna have to pull it up a little bit or hold it by the handle, and that's why they made these handles. The single 350 watt hub motor does give you regenerative braking I've not tracked that. There's almost impossible to track, but it does seem like on my long distance ride, it kind of gave me back a little bit of power. It's hard judging that for sure. The site also lists that you can have up to a 250-pound rider. That's on Amazon. I checked the site for all these stats, and they differed from what Amazon said. I contacted Blitzart. They were very responsive in my questions to them. They said that the stats on the Amazon site were better than these stats, or more accurate than the stats on the Blitzart site. So the site says it takes about 2.5 hours to fully charge the battery. I've also not sat and watched it or timed it with another camera. I think that's about accurate. The remote is different than a lot of the other remotes that you may have seen, that I've ever seen. This is it. I'll give a closer look. I've labeled the forward or the go or accelerate and the brake with a kind of a go and a stop. Can't remember what they said before. The way it was labeled was kind of strange to me. The power on switch and the high and low speed, or the fast and slow speed are both switches on the side of the remote, along with the shift a little further underneath the brake with the battery indicator. I think something's wrong with my battery indicator, because when I turn it on the board, I'm missing the center light, but I don't really pay attention to that. The lanyard has something to be desired. My hands were little child hands. Work great, probably, but they're not. So I can get the palm of my hand into the lanyard, and that's pretty much it. I can't get my thumb in there, so I've made do. It works, but could be better. That's not a big deal. That can easily be replaced. On the bottom side of the board, we have all the fun stuff. I'll show some pictures that are on Amazon of someone opening the battery compartment with the vest and everything inside the battery box on the underside of the board. The charging port is on one side, power on the other. This is not push power on. You have to push a button on the battery compartment to power this board on, which isn't a big deal. I mean, we all have devices that we have to power on at some point in time. Trucks seem good and stable. The wheel bearings are not bad. I'm sure you could easily swap them out for some really nice yellow jackets or bones or something like that, but they're really not bad for stock. They run really well, really smooth. I've had no real issues with them, other than when I did get the board. About a few days later, I went to look at the wheels and the bearings. I loosened one wheel, took one wheel off, put it back on, and I tightened it up to a point, and I noticed a couple of the other wheels, when I tried to spin them, were not spinning right. They were too tight. The nut was too tight on the truck itself. So I loosened all those evenly. They spin really well now. Obviously the hub motor wheel, it's got a motor in it. You can spin it, but it takes a little more pressure, and it doesn't free spin like the other wheels with the bearings. If you get one of these boards too, you want to make sure and tighten these nuts. I saw some videos that talked about these nuts, one of these nuts falling off, and or one or two of these falling off. I swept through once, checked all the nuts on the board and the trucks and the wheels that same day. I did find some somewhat loose ones. There's one bolt and nut on the truck with the hub motor. It's impossible to get unless you take or reroute this cable to the battery box. So know that that's going to be a small issue if you're checking all the nuts on the board and making sure everything's tight. It does not come with a skate tool like some of the other boards. It doesn't say it does, and I didn't expect it to, but I went ahead. I didn't already have one of these, and I have lots of other tools, but these do come in handy. It does not fit the nuts that hold the battery box on though. So you could tighten pretty much everything except for the nuts on the battery box. You'll have to find something. One more thing is to, I know it seems silly, always wear a helmet when you're riding these. I've not fallen off of this board yet, but really no problems. This board is very stable. It's been good for me, but always make sure and wear a helmet to protect your head. This is a bike helmet, but bike helmet, skateboard helmet, if you have a good helmet, make sure and wear it. So remember to wear a helmet. Safety is important. Your safety is important. So that's really all I had for this board. So far, this board really has been great. It's a good deal if you're starting out, at least. You're not sure if you want to spend $1,000 or $500 even on electric skateboard. You're not sure if you'll use it. You're not sure if you can ride it. You're not sure if you can balance on them. Maybe you haven't skateboarded before. This seems like a good deal, and I still think it's a good deal, even though I've got another board I've ordered. I've done a lot of research on these boards, at least through YouTube. There's a lot of good videos out there on a lot of other boards. There's a few videos on this Blitzart board, and they have some other boards, a Tornado, and a smaller board, and another board. This seems like a good deal, long board, very stable, no matter what the terrain, and I don't regret buying this at all. In fact, I have 2 boys, and I got a second one coming, should be here today, just to make sure they're not fighting over this and I don't have to deal with it. So if you're in the market for a cheap longboard, introducing yourself to electric skateboarding, e-boarding, I find this is a good deal. That's my opinion. So easy to ride, stable, smooth, cheap, affordable, so far reliable. I've only had it a week, but it's been very, very good. Worth the money to this point. Companies seems to be responsive from what I can tell and from what others say on YouTube. So that's all I had today. So that's all I had on this electric skateboard review. I'm hoping to give other reviews in the future. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, give me a like. If you have a question or a comment, just shoot me it below, and I'll do my best to reply back. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.